Today, we're going to be trying to get the maximum FPS in Minecraft on a low-end laptop. This is a Dell Inspiron 1564 laptop. So if you haven't seen my last video, I tried to get the maximum FPS possible on a low-end computer. You can check out that video here. However, this time, we're going to be taking it to the next level, and we're going to be doing it on this. This is a Dell Inspiron 1564 laptop from 2009. It's got Intel Core i3 3300M processor, upgraded 8GB of RAM, and integrated graphics. This is a very old and slow laptop that's probably only good for doing office work. I have upgraded the SSD on this computer, otherwise it would have been super slow. But yeah, this is the laptop we're going to be working with in this video. So yeah, how much FPS do you reckon we're going to be able to get on this bad boy? Make sure to watch to the end to find out. If you're new around here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so let's see what we're working with here. So we've currently got Windows 10 installed. I believe this is Windows 10 Home. So yeah, it's going to have lots of bloatware in the start menu, like all of this stuff, Katana, and all the stuff that we are going to get rid of. We're going to debloat this and we're going to optimize this the best we can. In terms of storage space, we're not using too much actually. We've got 401 gigabytes free. We have got an SSD installed in this system. This was one of the things that I did do to upgrade this laptop, just because, I mean, who uses a hard drive anymore? SSDs are so much better, so much faster. I have actually done some optimizing on this computer before, but we're going to take this to a completely new level in this video. If we have a look here, we've actually got 79 processes, which is not too bad actually. I'm pretty sure I've probably done some optimizing before. If we go into startup, we've got most of this disabled, which is pretty good. We'll just go ahead and turn off some of the stuff here as well that we don't really want. All right, so now that's out of the way, let's open up Minecraft and see what we're working with here. Yeah, so it's quite clear the laptop we're working with here is very slow. I mean, just look at the look on my face. I'm not impressed by the loading times on this thing. What have I got myself into? Alright, so I've just opened up Minecraft on this laptop and it's already feeling very slow. If we look at our video settings here, as you can see, they've pretty much been changed. We've got our render distance on the lowest possible, put our graphics on fast, smooth lighting off, VSync off. We'll turn on this as well. Yeah, let's just see how this is. So yeah, it feels incredibly laggy right now. I don't even want to try and put up my FPS. We're getting 8 FPS on this laptop. This is going to be a really challenging video. So yeah, gameplay wise, this is unplayable basically. 8 FPS is probably the worst FPS I think I've ever got in Minecraft. I've gone into full screen here, see if that'll improve our FPS anymore. Nope, still the same. In fact, if anything, it's gone down. We're now about 6 FPS, 7 when we kind of move around. Yeah, this is going to be it's going to be an interesting challenge to say the least. All right, so we're now in small windowed mode just to see if this makes any difference. I've actually got an FPS counter now, as you can see on the top left, and yeah, it's still pretty bad. Oh, okay, we're getting 13, 14 FPS. Pretty poor performance. So we're using vanilla 1.8.9 because 1.7.10 is probably the best version for FPS. But 1.8.9 is more usable in day-to-day life. Like you can join servers and stuff that still support 1.8. So that's what we're using, such an old version on this laptop. We're just trying to get the maximum FPS possible. If we look up here, okay. 100 FPS just by looking up. Okay, I think this challenge might be doable. What about if we look down? We just look down here, go down here. Okay. 140 FPS I just saw there. Okay, that feels super smooth. And then when I look up again, I think this could be doable, you know. I'm not sure what the consistent performance is going to be like, because I mean, as soon as we come out of here, we're straight back down to, you know, bad FPS again, 10 FPS. But I do have hope. So the first thing that I do on all my computers to optimize them is I use the Chris Titus tool. I'll leave a link to this in the description below if you want to go and check this out. It's pretty easy to use and it works wonders on pretty much every computer I try it on. The main reason I use the Chris Titus tool is to try and halve the background processes. However, in this case, it took ages to download and install because this computer is just so slow. And then just find this code here basically and just copy and paste it. Right, so just run PowerShell as administrator as I'm doing here. and then just copy and paste the code for the Chris Titus tool in here. All right, finally the Chris Titus tool has loaded up on this laptop. Oh, it is so slow. Right, we're not going to go and install anything through here. We're just going to go straight to tweaks. So yeah, we're going to go for minimal here. I would normally go for laptop or desktop, but I just want the best performance I can possibly get out of this. So if you press minimal, it preloads some settings for you, disables telemetry, home group, and yeah, it just does loads of stuff in the background that is super good. And we're also going to add the ultimate performance profile. I know this is a laptop and it's going to affect the battery life, but I'm always going to be using this plugged in, so we're just going to add that. So we've also got some miscellaneous tweaks here which you can go ahead and do. So you can remove OneDrive, Edge, and you can do various other stuff here as well, which doesn't really make too much difference. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and run these tweaks, and yeah, this will literally halve our background processes. This is a super good tool. Alright, so the tweaks have been run, but I'm still not too happy with the performance. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to tick all of the essential tweaks here and some other stuff in the missed tweaks. We're going to run this, and hopefully this will increase our performance even more. Alright guys, so I've just restarted the computer and it feels so much quicker. It feels so snappy. So we've actually disabled the animations here. So if I go ahead and open up a window and I drag it around, as you can see, the fancy animations are gone. If we have a look at the start menu here, we've got pretty much no more bloatware. So all the pre-installed Windows apps are pretty much gone. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the ultimate performance profile, which we enabled in the Chris Titus tool. So just go to control panel, power options, and then show additional plans here. And then we're going to go for ultimate performance. Provides ultimate performance on higher end PCs. So now if we go ahead and go to our task manager, go to performance, we're still on about 76 processes, which like I said before was good. I'd already optimized this computer before, but now we're kind of taking things to the next level. So we've got, yeah, not too much going on in the background here. So yeah, let's go ahead and try out Minecraft Vanilla now with our new optimized Windows. Right, straight away that opened up super quickly. Before I was waiting around for quite a while, but now if we just go ahead and launch 1.8.9. all right, so moment of truth. Let's load up our same single player world that we were using before and see what kind of performance we get. Okay, so straight away this feels a little bit smoother, but we haven't loaded in properly just yet. Let's just get a sneaky peek at our FPS here. Ooh, okay, that has improved things a lot. 30 FPS, so far so good. I mean, the FPS, considering this is a really old laptop, was pretty good, and considering we hadn't installed any performance enhancing mods, I would say this is pretty good going. But I knew we could do better, and for that we're going to need a Minecraft PvP client. Now, finding a Minecraft PvP client for a low-end PC is quite difficult. Nowadays, a lot of clients have flashy mod menus and loads of mods included as standard. And for a low-end PC, that is not a good thing whatsoever. We need a bare bones client that's got all the stuff we need. So here's the client I decided to choose. So when it comes to choosing a client for a low-end PC, lots of things have got to be bearing in mind. Now, normally if it was like a mid-range to high-end PC, I would get something like Lunar Client. The problem with Lunar Client on a low-end PC is it has got quite flashy animations, lots of mods included as standard, and that is a good thing, but for a low-end PC, that's far too much to handle. Alright, let's go ahead and create a world using the Sawyer client. So let's see what FPS we get. Alright, so here we are on the Sawyer client. Let's go to our video settings here. And yeah, we've got the OptiFine settings, which is really good. So let's go ahead and mess with some of these. So we're going to turn off smooth lighting. We're going to put our GUI scale. We'll leave that as it is. We're going to go to details. We're going to turn off sky and basically just put everything on fast and turn off stuff that we don't want. As for animations, we're going to turn them all off apart from flame animated. Then if we go into quality, yeah, we can turn off most of this stuff. So custom sky can go off, fancy fonts as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then if we go into performance here, we're going to turn on fast render, fast math, smooth world, which might be good for FPS stabilization. Lazy chunk loading is a massive one here. This is really good for when you're flying around in creative modes. And smooth FPS is a debatable one, but we'll leave it off for now. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Then we're just going to go into the Sawyer client settings and we're just going to turn off the mods that we don't want. We do actually have some performance mods in Sawyer client, which is pretty good. I've got smooth frames turned on and chunk update limiter, so we'll just leave that on. We'll leave 1.7.10 animations on as well, and we'll turn most of this stuff off apart from full bright. Okay, so now let's see what our FPS is like using Sawyer client with our OptiFine. So as you can see on the right here, we're getting about 25 FPS, maybe a little bit more. It all depends really, I suppose. Go into small windowed mode and see how much FPS we can get. Okay, here we go. 47 FPS. Okay, not too bad. Although nowhere near kind of the 60 FPS mark, which is what I was hoping. Right, let's have a look down here and see what FPS we get if we look all the way down. We zoom in as well with OptiFine. So if we zoom in as well, will that improve? Oh, okay. We just spiked up. Oh, 136, 140. Okay, not bad. And if we look up in the sky here, we're getting 200 FPS. Let's go. Zoom in as well. Can we get any more? 236. Okay, that's the highest I think I've seen it. But yeah, Sawyer client's definitely a good one to check out if you want to get more FPS. It's quite a bare bones client. I mean, if you look at the mod menu, it's not flashy, it's not animated, and you only have a few kind of mods in here, which is pretty good. Alright, so another thing that I've done here is I've actually launched a super flat world, and this was such a good decision. Look at our FPS now. We're getting over 60 FPS, which is super good, super playable. I mean, we are in small windowed mode, but let's go ahead and try and make that any bigger. Okay, this is good. So we're in kind of pretty much full screen here, over 60 FPS on this computer with Sawyer client, all our settings turned down and everything. 95 FPS we got there. That's insane. So yeah, super flat worlds might be the way forward. That's how we're going to try and get as much FPS as possible. Alright, what happens if we look down here? Do we get any more? Maybe if we zoom in? Nope, still about 100 FPS or so. What about if we look up in the sky? 133. I'm pretty sure I saw 200 earlier, so yeah, we haven't improved that much since then. But still, we've created a playable experience that's, you know, actually good. And yeah, I mean, if I was forced to, I could probably play like this. What about if we look down in windowed mode? Okay, come on, we nearly got 200 FPS there. Very nearly. All right, let's look up in the sky. Zoom in. 200. Can we get any more? No, it's just going down. Let's try and turn off some of these mods and stuff. They're getting in the way. Okay, that's a bit better. And now we're getting about, whoa, 225 FPS there. And I wasn't even looking up or down. I'm just literally just running around in this single player world. So it's pretty clear that a client has drastically improved our FPS. It's pretty much doubled it. Now bear in mind I have been using pretty much every trick in the book. Small windowed mode, looking up in the sky, looking down, zooming in. But it's all to try and get the maximum FPS we can on this laptop. Next up, I'm going to try another trick that I haven't done before, and it might make a big difference on this low-end laptop. Yep, we're going to be installing an 8x8X texture pack. Look at this. We're getting just over 200 FPS with this 8x8X texture pack. So yeah, if you look at the swords here, I mean, yeah, it's not the best looking texture pack in the world, but it does actually improve our FPS, which is quite interesting to see on a low-end laptop like this one. Okay, I think we're going to need to do another test. Can we get 300 FPS? Come on, I nearly saw it. Yes, there we go, 300 FPS. Let's go. I never imagined to get 300 FPS, but we can do better, we can do more. I want to get this to at least 1000 FPS on this computer. Alright, so I've just flown up really high in the sky, and now we're getting a consistent 300 FPS, which is really good to see. So we pretty much 10 times our FPS from the start of the video, so we're on a really good track. It's clear I'm getting pretty desperate at this point to try and get more FPS on this laptop. Now, while the Sawyer client is a very good option, I did feel there's probably another client out there that I could use. In my last video, when I last did this, I used the Badlion client. Now, I've had mixed results on this low-end laptop, but I decided to give it a go anyway, because I'm super desperate to get more FPS now. Come on, we need to do better than this. Alright, so I decided to try out Badlion client, and I decided to go with the light edition. Now, I've just loaded up my normal Minecraft world here, and the FPS is actually super good. This is actually quite playable. As you can see, we've got about 100 FPS there, but we're mainly getting about 60 to 100. Occasionally it spikes a little bit, but this is actually really good. Really good performance using Badlion Client Lite. And I think thanks to all our optimizations and stuff, we're on track to actually having a good playable experience on this laptop. Now, yeah, granted my settings are turned pretty much all the way down here. Badlion Client Lite is pretty good. So if we could put all of this stuff on performance here, then this really might help improve our FPS. We can also do stuff like visual stuff here, like we can hide tail lights, tall grass, flowers, and all of this stuff as well. So I'm just going ahead and just disabling some mods here that I don't want. And yeah, I'm actually quite surprised with this. So we're actually in windowed mode right now, but it's quite kind of big windowed mode. Let's see how much FPS we get in full screen here. just as a little test. Okay, we have crashed. Excellent. Wow. So I've just got this message from Badlion saying, your computer hardware is very old, and as a result we are forced to use an old, less stable version of Java. We can't fix this crash. Consider buying a new PC with better hardware. So since Badlion Client was a massive letdown on this low-end laptop, I decided to use our Lord and Saviour NotTrue Client. However, not the new version that a lot of people are spamming my comments for. So we're on V3 of NotTrue Client. So we're not on the latest version. That's still being worked on. I know a lot of people asked me about that. So yeah, we've got the FPS mod on here. Let's see what FPS we get. So we're getting about 50 FPS in a regular single player world. 50 to 60 FPS, which is playable. You know, it's pretty good. Let's see if we can go into like small windowed mode here. See if that makes a difference. Okay, we've got about 75 there. 60. But yeah, not really much of a difference really. Let's try and make a super flat world here. I'm sure that's going to give us lots of FPS. Be interesting to see what it does in NotTrue Client, how much FPS we get. So yeah, here we go. So 140 FPS here on a super flat world here. What happens if we look down? Okay, we're getting about 200 FPS. Zoom in maybe. Okay, that's actually decreased our FPS. Okay, if we have a look up here. Come on, can we get 300? Yes, okay. Just about broke 300 FPS there, which unfortunately I think could be the highest we're going to get. Let's go into the voids here. See if that makes any difference. No, we need to get into like the mid 300s to be even comparable to Sawyer Client, what we were using before. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate really about the NotTrue Client. Let's try and fly up in the air here. Okay, right, we're getting into the 300s now. Can we get any more? Will NotTrue Client be the client that gives us the most FPS? No, I don't think it will be. But still, not bad. I think we should probably try and aim for 500 FPS now. I think 1,000 is going to be a bit too far stretch. Another thing I thought about trying is trying to play on the smallest window mode possible. Oh, okay. That has made so much more of a difference. What? 500 FPS. Even more. We're getting almost 600 FPS now. Come on, can we break 600 FPS? Come on. You can do it. Wow, that is insane. We pretty much have got 600 FPS. Right, I'm pretty sure 1,000 FPS is possible now. Let's try and go even smaller. Come on. 600 FPS. I just saw that. We got it. Yeah, this is going to be unplayable in like such a small window, but I'm trying every trick in the book here. Right, this is super small right now, but we're well into 600 FPS. Let's go. We can do this. I believe. I want to try and get 1,000 FPS. If we can do that on this laptop, I'll be happy. I'll walk away happy, but yeah. 600 though. That is pretty good. So NotTrue Client was pretty impressive. Now, yeah, admittedly, I did play in the smallest windowed mode possible, but I do think Badlion Client did have the slight edge on this computer in terms of FPS. So I tried to revisit Badlion Client. I diagnosed all the problems I had with it and eventually managed to get it to launch again. And a simple restart simply fixed my problem. So now we're back on Badlion Client. Let's try the really small windowed mode again and see if we can get any more FPS. So yeah, let's fly up in the air like we were doing before. And let's see if we can get any more than 600 FPS with Badlion Client Lite. I'll be very surprised if we can. So yeah, we've pretty much got our 500 FPS, which is actually quite good. I think before on NotTrue Client, we had to make our window super small. So to actually have, you know, a playable window, I would say, with 500 FPS looking up in the sky, pretty good. So that gives me confidence to reduce this even more, and we might be able to break 1,000 FPS. Who knows? So, okay, 700. Oh, come on. Can we get 800 FPS? Oh, it just dropped. Come on. 800 FPS. We're so close. Yes, 800 FPS on a low-end laptop. What? That is insane. I think we might actually be able to get 1,000. Let's make this as small as we possibly can. Come on. Okay, 800. Well into 800 now. Okay, can we get 900? I can't believe this is possible. Would I recommend playing like this to get more FPS? No, but we're doing it anyway because we want to try and get the maximum FPS possible with this laptop. Oh, I think 800 might be the best we're going to get it, honestly. We'll make it a bit smaller. We're definitely looking up in the sky. Let's just make it as small as we possibly can. No, I don't think we're going to cross 800. Okay, we've crossed it now, but I don't think we're going to get any more than that, unfortunately. Let's just make it tiny as possible. That's not even playable. But yeah, I mean, considering we started this video and we were getting about 8 FPS, I think it was. So from 8 to 800, we have multiplied our FPS by 100. We got 100 times more FPS in this video. And yeah, honestly, this computer is so old. And to be able to get 800 FPS in Minecraft, that is super impressive. This is our CPU stuff here. So we're not actually using that much CPU and memory. Performance, 89 processors, which is pretty good for under 100. Yeah, so this is pretty much, I think, the best we're going to be able to get it. I'll try some more things off camera, but I think this might be the most FPS we can get on this laptop. So after that success and getting 800 FPS on this laptop, I decided to call it a day. I don't think we can get any more than that. I know I set a goal to get 1000 FPS on here, but honestly, I'll take 800. I mean, given that we started with this laptop and it was on 8 FPS, to take that to 100, we've pretty much 100 times our FPS on this laptop in this video. Let me know in the comment section down below the specs of your computer and how much FPS you've managed to get. And also let me know your tips and tricks in the comments below on how to get more FPS, because that will really help some people out there out. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And if you want to check out my last video when I tried to get the highest FPS on my eBay PC, then click here and I'll see you guys there.